That is the field before the lines and bases are put down. The grounds crew performs the same ritual for every game on every field, laying chalk lines, putting down bases, mowing the outfield. It's as timeless as the game itself, and it's all in anticipation of two words: play ball.
And good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oscar Frazier Park in beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina for the first of two games. This first game, an elimination game between the Union County All-Stars and the North Myrtle Beach All-Stars. In the second game this evening, it'll be the undefeated Edgefield team versus the host team, the Bluffton American team. That will come your way right around 7:30. But first, Union County and North Myrtle Beach. This tournament started with 12 teams. We are down to the final 4. And tomorrow, a champion will be crowned of this, the 2019 Dixie Youth Boys Ozone State Championship. In this game, the visiting team is Union County. The home team is North Myrtle Beach, so Union will bat first. And this is the way they'll line up. Cade Coker will lead off and play center field. Mason Small bats second, and he plays second. Tanner Harden on the mound for Union will bat third. Josh Brandon at shortstop will bat cleanup. Andrew Latham at first base will bat fifth. Joe Knox, the catcher, bats sixth. Christian Giles over at third base hits seventh. Hunter Revis, the extra hitter, bats eighth. Rylan Lancaster in right field bats ninth. Landon Sumner, the extra hitter, bats 10th. Jamison Parks, extra hitter, bats 11th. And Garrison Cooper over in left field rounds out the batting order, and he will bat 12th. Union County is coached by Scotty Kendrick and Brian Harden. And they'll be up to bat against a very good North Myrtle Beach team. On the mound for North Myrtle Beach is Brown Reeves, and you see him there completing his warm-up tosses. Defensively for North Myrtle Beach in the outfield, left to right, Campbell Kingston in left, Mason Cox in center, and Connor Barnes over in right around the infield third to first, Colin Jones at third, Sawyer Smith at short, Jack Watts at second, Luke Roop over at first. Doing the catching, it's Connor Helmicki, and then Brown Reeves is on the mound for North Myrtle Beach. The loser of this game will head home. The winner will head into tomorrow's championship round. So this is a very big elimination game.
Number 3, Cade Coker.
And Cade Coker, if I can say it right, comes up to bat to lead off the top of the first. Hot, humid Oscar Frazier Park in Bluffton, South Carolina. Brown Reeves looks in, gets his sign. First pitch is on the way, and it's in there for a strike, and we're underway on this Wednesday night. Thanks for joining us live on the Beaufort County Channel. Reeves again ready. The pitch on the way. That's grounded to third, fielded by the third baseman. Across to first in time, and it's 1 up and 1 down here in the top of the first.
Now batting number 9, Mason Small.
And now Mason Small, the second baseman for Union County. And you might remember Mason Small from our marathon game on Monday night, the Edgefield team versus Union County, the game that ended at 12:15 a.m. on Tuesday morning. In the bottom of the 7th inning of that game, Edgefield, who was the home team, came up to bat. They had the bases loaded. The game was tied at 1. Mason Small came in to pitch for Union, He inherited that bases loaded, no out situation, and he got Edgefield 1-2-3 to escape the bottom of the 7th inning, a game that Edgefield went on to win in the bottom of the 10th inning. And now he bats with the bases empty, 1 down here in the top of the 1st. And the count's no balls and 2 strikes. These young men have shown us some tremendous skill this entire tournament. Defensively, offensively, with pitching. They've run the bases. As the pitch is fouled back to the screen, the count stays no balls and 2 strikes. Reeves gets a sign. And the pitch on the way. Misses inside. The count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch on the way. Outside. 2-2 the count. Two-two pitch is outside, ball 3. So after falling behind 0-2, Mason Small works the count to fill it 3-2. Brown Reeves into the wind. 3-2 pitch on the way. Tapped again and foul up toward third. And we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, stays the count. Three-two pitch on the way, and that's chopped to third. Convenient hop and across to first, and plenty of time for the second out in the top of the 1st. The 2 ground balls to third have retired the first 2 Union County batters. And that'll bring up Tanner Harden. Tanner will be on the mound for Union when they take the field in the bottom of the 1st. And there's ball 1 outside to Tanner Harden. There's an off-speed pitch that didn't break, and that evens the count, or excuse me, takes the count to 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count. Throughout this tournament, we've given you little tidbits of the players' biographies, and we'll do some more of that here tonight. As the 2-0 pitch finds the strike zone, 2-1 the count. For example, Tanner Harden's favorite food is spaghetti. His favorite band is Mud Digger. I don't know that one either, as that's ripped to second and caught on the line by the second baseman for out number 3. So Union goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 1st. Nothing doing for the Union County All-Stars. And we head to the bottom of the 1st. North Myrtle Beach comes up in this elimination game at the 2019 Dixie Youth Boys Ozone State Championship live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. We go to the bottom of the first. North Myrtle Beach comes to bat, no score in this elimination game. It'll be Connor Helmecki, Colin Jones, and Luke Roop, the first three for North Myrtle Beach in the bottom of the first. Tanner Harden is on the mound for Union County. And he looks in for his sign. And Harden's first pitch of the evening is in there for a strike, 0-1. Harden ready with the 0-1 pitch. Taken outside, and the count evens 1-1. Defensively for Union County in the outfield, left to right, Garrison Hooper in left, Cade Coker in center, Rylan Lancaster over in right. Defensively, third to first, Christian Giles at third. As Harden's 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2, 2-1. Josh Brandon at second, Josh Brandon at short, Mason Small at second. And Andrew Latham over at first. Joe Knox behind the plate, and he catches, once again, Tanner Harden. The count now goes to 3 balls and a strike to Connor Helmicki, the leadoff hitter for North Myrtle Beach, whose favorite food is beef jerky. He is a Chicago Cub fan and a Mike Trout fan. Mike Trout, of course, plays for the LA Angels of Anaheim. Complicated name. And there's a line drive back to the pitcher. And if Tanner Harden were 2 inches shorter, he wouldn't have caught that. But that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. Helmecki hit it hard, but right at Tanner Harden, 1 up, 1 down. And now Colin Jones, the batter. And I was noticing this about Colin Jones before we went on the air. He's my favorite player, if only for the fact that his favorite band is Journey, a band I actually recognize. And he takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. His favorite movie is Toy Story, is Colin Jones. He's a Freddie Freeman fan and a Braves fan. Braves just lost to the Milwaukee Brewers 5-4. Yikes. As the pitch misses, and that evens the count 1-1. And Colin Jones wants to play for the Atlanta Braves. Colin, if you're a closer, give him a call now. Don't wait. 1-1 pitch on the way is on the outside corner, 1-2 the count. One ball and 2 strikes the count. The bases are empty. There's 1 down in the bottom of the first. No score in this elimination game. Harden misses the outside corner, and that evens the count now 2-2. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Way inside. Almost hit Colin Jones, and that'll fill the count now 3-2. As you might expect, a great crowd on hand here at Oscar Frazier Park. This has been a well-attended tournament all week long. Very loyal fans. Even when that game ended at 12:15, there were still tons of people in the ballpark on Monday night. That pitch all the way to the screen, and it's a 1-out walk for Colin Jones. So Jones becomes the first base runner of the afternoon for either team. And that brings up the first baseman, Luke Roop. Been some great baseball names in this tournament. And Luke Roop is another one. The first baseman for North Myrtle Beach stands in with a runner at first. Luke Roop likes chicken wings. And he also likes the Washington Nationals and Max Scherzer. And he wants to be a pitcher when he grows up. His favorite band is Little Tekka Ransom. I have no idea what that is or who that is. And his favorite movie is another one I don't recognize, Creep 2. Doesn't sound like Alice in Wonderland, exactly. Creep 2, Luke's favorite movie. He ducks out of the way, but he takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Luke Roop. Jones gets his lead, and the pitch is a strike, and the count's 0-2 to Luke Roop. Brown Reeves, the pitcher, waits on deck for North Myrtle Beach. The pitch on the way, off-speed pitch has Roop out in front, and he goes down on strikes. Good pitch by Tanner Harden. That's the second out in the bottom of the first. Colin Jones remains the runner at first, and that brings up Brown Reeves, the pitcher. Brown's favorite food is fried okra, a true Southern young man. And he likes Star Wars. I know that movie. Bo Jackson's his favorite sports idol. That's going back a few years. His hobbies are golf, baseball, and football. And he likes AC/DC. There's another throwback band. North Myrtle Beach likes some of the oldies. Journey, AC/DC. All the stuff my sisters made me listen to 30 years ago, 35 years ago. They probably heard that, and I'll get a text message here in just a minute. Runner going. Pitch is fouled away. And Colin Jones will have to return to first. And Brown Reeves is down a strike. We're in the bottom of the first at Oscar Frazier Park in this elimination game between the Union County All-Stars and the North Myrtle Beach All-Stars. Colin Jones, the runner at first for North Myrtle Beach, and there are 2 outs. And it's a no ball and 1 strike count to Brown Reeves. And there's a line drive. That's going to get down in the gap and run all the way to the wall in right center field. Colin Jones thought about motoring around third and trying to score, but he applies the brakes at third. It's a long single for Brown Reeves. That's the first hit of the afternoon for either team. And North Myrtle Beach with runners now at first and third and 2 outs, and Sawyer Smith comes to the plate. So North Myrtle Beach tries to get a run on the scoreboard first. Sawyer Smith stands in. His favorite food is chicken, another one of those General Chicken favorite foods. Don't know if he likes it fried, baked, grilled. His favorite movie, a popular selection among these young men, The Sandlot. He wants to be a structural engineer in the future. And his favorite sports idol is David Ortiz, a good one. And Smith is ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Runners first and third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. No score, but North Myrtle Beach trying to change that. Harden gets his sign. Pitch on the way is outside. 2-0 the count. Runners get their leads off first and third. Harden with the 2-0 pitch. And it's taken outside for ball 3, 3-0. Sawyer Smith awaits the 3-0 pitch. And he squares to bunt, pulls the bat back and takes a strike, and that brings the count to 3-1. Harden stretches and delivers the 3-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch stays high, and the bases are going to be loaded for North Myrtle Beach with 2 outs.
Now batting number 3, Mason Cox.
That'll bring up the center fielder, Mason Cox. Mason Cox's favorite movie is Jaws. And he likes to eat steak. He likes to watch the Boston Red Sox. He also chooses David Ortiz as his favorite sports idol. And I'm not sure if this is a song or a band. I guess it's a band. Post Malone. Don't know what that is either. It's a he, so the truck tells me it's a he and it's a person, not a band. So I gotta add that to my list of things to listen to. Bases loaded, 2 outs, no score. North Myrtle Beach trying to dent the scoreboard first. It's a no ball and 1 strike count to Mason Cox. And there is a swing and a miss. And Cox is down, no balls and 2 strikes. Harden trying to get out of this and leave the bases loaded for North Myrtle Beach. He gets a sign from Joe Knox. The 0-2 pitch on the way is taken high, and the count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch on the way. Runners lead off first, second, and third. That's hit into right field, short right field. Everybody chases it. The players trip over each other, but the ball is hung onto for out number 3. Union County flirted with disaster. 2 players chased it, but the ball is caught. North Myrtle Beach leaves the bases loaded, and that takes us to the top of the 2nd inning. There is no score in this elimination game in the 2019 Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. Josh Brandon leads off for Union County in the top of the 2nd in a scoreless game. North Myrtle Beach with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 1st, but Tanner Harden able to get out of it. A nice catch out in short right field by the 2nd baseman, Mason Small. There he is again, making good plays and keeping North Myrtle Beach off the scoreboard as Josh Brandon fouls the first pitch he sees back to the screen. 0-1 the count. The pitchers are on an 85 pitch limit. So at the end of every half inning, the total number of pitches thrown is announced so that everybody who's keeping track of the pitches thrown, all those numbers match. If they throw their 85th pitch in the middle of an at-bat, they can finish the at-bat. But that will be the last batter they face. That's popped up over toward the screen and caught by the third baseman for the first out here in the top of the second. Good catch by Colin Jones. One up, one down. And that brings up Andrew Latham. Andrew Latham is a fan of chicken tenders. So are my daughters. It's about all they eat. As that pitch is smacked into center field, center fielder comes on. It's going to fall right in front of him. And they kind of kicked around, but it'll be a single for Andrew Latham.
Now batting number 6, Joe Knox.
And that brings up the catcher, Joe Knox. Joe Knox wants to be a forensic scientist when he chooses a profession down the line. His favorite band is God's Country, and his sports idol is Tim Tebow, and that's a good one. These young men have some big aspirations. I think when I was 12, I just wanted to be 13. I think that's about all I was really worried about back in those days. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to Joe Knox. He bats with a runner at first and 1 out here in the top of the second inning. No score in this elimination game. That is hit hard into center field. Center fielder got a bad jump, turned the wrong way. It's going to get down for a base hit, and Union's going to have runners on first and second. Joe Knox got good metal on that, and the center fielder, Mason Cox, misjudged it, turned the wrong way. It got over his head and against the wall, but it's a long single, and Union with something cooking here in the top of the second. Christian Giles now the batter. So Union tries to dent the scoreboard first. Runners get their leads off first and second. Pitch on the way is sharply hit in the hole, fielded by the shortstop, who from his knees throws over to third in time for the force out. Good play. Great play by Sawyer Smith over at short. Made the play, and then from his knees forces out Andrew Latham over at third for the second out of the inning. More great defense from these young men. So Christian Giles takes over as the runner at first. Union now with runners at first and second. And Hunter Revis the batter. And he takes outside ball 1. Christian Giles the runner at first. Joe Knox the runner at second. There are 2 outs in the top of the second in a scoreless game. Union trying to change that. Pitch to Hunter Revis is a big swing and a miss, and the count goes to 0-2. Check that, 1-1. Big swing and a miss. And I think that takes the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. It does. 1-2 the count to Hunter Revis. Pitch on the way, misses the outside corner. And the count's even now, 2-2. Brown Reeves brings it to the plate, and it's fouled first base side, and the count stays 2-2. We appreciate everybody tuning in on the Beaufort County channel and those who may also be tuning in at BeaufortCountySC.gov. We appreciate your tuning in more than you know. And as we go in this game, we'll also thank some of our sponsors who've made this all possible. Right now, Brown Reeves looks the runners back to first and second, gets his sign. The pitch on the way is fisted, foul, first base side. The count stays 2-2. This tournament has sponsors such as Station 300, Jimmy John's Subs, the Sippin' Cow Cafe, Local Pie, the Mickelson Law Firm, Golis Family Jewelers, the Toomer Family Seafood House and the Toomer Family Oyster Company, Wendy's, and Loco Sports. That pitch is hit to the second base bag, and the shortstop finds the bag just in time for the force out to end the inning. That was a close play down at second, but that retires Union County in the top of the second. Nothing doing. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. From Oscar Frazier Park, live on the Beaufort County channel. We'll be right back. Gabe Cuswick leads off for North Myrtle Beach here in the bottom of the second inning in a scoreless game. And Gabe's favorite food is crab cakes. There's a low country favorite. This is North Myrtle Beach after all. And he likes the Chicago Cubs. He likes John Lester. Bruno Mars is his favorite band. He also plays basketball and golf. And his favorite movie is The Sandlot. And he's ahead in the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. Tanner Hardin still on the mound for the Union County All-Stars. There's a strike, and the count's 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. Misses for ball 3, 3-1. The Sandlot's been chosen over and over again as their favorite movie. They probably all have a crush, and can we remember her? Wendy Peppercorn, the lifeguard. Squints, his future wife. The count's full now, 3-2. If I remember right, they own the drugstore in that town. As the 3-2 pitch is fouled back to the screen, the count stays 3-2. The Wonder Years, somebody says from the truck. Winnie Cooper. Another great show. 3-2 pitch on the way. And it's upstairs all the way to the screen for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk for Cuswick. And now Jake Frick, the batter.
Now batting number 15, Jake Frick.
And Jake Frick is very specific on his favorite fruit, Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets. And he also likes the Sandlot. He's a fan of the Atlanta Braves and Chipper Jones, and he wants to be a major league catcher. There's a rough profession on the old knees. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these young men who want to be major league ball players as they grow up, if they didn't make it, the talent is tremendous on some of these. Most of these young men, all these young men, have tremendous talent. And they've showed us that time and time again in this tournament. Count to Frick is 1 ball and 1 strike. Gabe Cuswick leads off first. Harden to the plate, and that's hit foul. Third base side out of play. And that takes the count to 1-2. Frick stands in, and he awaits the 1-2 pitch from Tanner Harden. Here it is. Off-speed pitch stays high, and that'll even things up 2-2. The temperature's in the 90s, and the heat index has got to be well up over 100. 2-2 pitch on the way, inside and tight, almost hit Frick, but he dances out of the way, and that'll fill the count 3-2. I think I saw yesterday that the Bluffton heat index was 114 at one point yesterday. That's up there pretty darn high. 3-2 pitch misses for ball 4, and back-to-back walks and base runners for North Myrtle Beach
Now batting
in the bottom of the second.
Connor Barnes.
And I'll bring up Connor Barnes. Connor likes the Cleveland Indians and Francisco Lindor. And he also likes the Sandlot.
He's at 38 right now, 3-8.
And a meeting on the mound here for Union. I wonder if they'll make a pitching change. They might not. We'll see. This is an elimination game, so the strategy is going to be in full effect for both teams. And even though somebody will go home who comes up on the short end of this game, there really truly are no losers in this tournament. These young men, as I've said before, have played so well. The way they carry themselves off the field, they've done them themselves, their team, their families, their communities. They've done them proud, and they should all be very, very proud of themselves. We are going to get a new pitcher. And it is going to be Garrison Hooper. So Garrison Hooper takes over for Tanner Harden.
Now pitching for Union County, number 7, Garrison Hooper. Final pitch count for Tanner Harden, 38 pitches.
Work the count. That's what they teach. Yep. So Hooper will throw some warm-up tosses. And that warm-up toss just a bit outside.
I don't understand. They have 3.5-hour shifts. That can't be 2 shifts. No, Jackie Long. Like 5:30 to 9. And then this one's 2:30 to 5. That's a 3-hour, and that's 3.5.
Looks like 2 more pitches for Garrison Hooper, and then we'll be back underway. And when we are at North Myrtle Beach, we'll have runners on first and second with nobody out. Both teams have had chances to score, neither team able to cash those chances in. And another chance here for North Myrtle Beach. And don't forget that after this game, the second game of the evening, the undefeated Edgefield team versus the host team, Bluffton American. We're ready to go. Hooper ready to deliver his first pitch to Connor Barnes. Runners lead off first and second, and there's a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Connor Barnes. A 1 pitch from Hooper on the way. It's bunted at the plate. Then it's a foul ball, and the count 0-2. Hooper looks in, gets his sign. Runners get their lead off first and second. The pitch is a big swing and a miss for strike 3. So Garrison Hooper comes in, strikes out the first man he faces. That's the first out in the bottom of the second. Runners remain on first and second. And now Campbell Kingston, the batter. Campbell Kingston likes the New York Yankees and Derek Jeter. His favorite movie is Mall Cop. I've seen that one. Favorite food is Mexican. And he's also specific on what he wants to be when he grows up. And I quote, "A billionaire and retire early." Pretty good aspiration, I'd say. There are those of us working who just want to be able to retire at all, as that pitch is hit into left field and lost maybe in the sunshine, but there's going to be a force out at third because the ball dropped. That's kind of why the infield fly rule is in effect in Major League Baseball, to prevent just something like that from happening. But it ends up being a force out, and that's the second out.
Number 12, Jack Watts.
So Kingston becomes the runner at first. And Jack Watts is the batter. No score, 2 outs, 2 runners on for North Myrtle Beach. Scoreless game. And Hooper delivers ball 1. Jack Watts wants to be a real estate developer, so if he gets together with Campbell Kingston, who wants to be a billionaire and retire early, they might be able to help each other out. Runners get their leads off first and second. Watts takes a strike, and that takes the count to 2-1. Have been a good game so far. A lot of base runners, but neither team able to dent the scoreboard. North Myrtle Beach trying to change that with 2 runners on and 2 out, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Jack Watts, and now 3-1 the count. Anderson White waits on deck for North Myrtle Beach. Hooper with the 3-1 pitch. And it misses high for ball 4, and North Myrtle Beach is going to have the bases loaded again. They had the bases loaded in the bottom of the first and couldn't score. They have them loaded again here in the bottom of the second. Anderson White will be the batter. Anderson White's favorite movie is a classic, Dumb and Dumber. He says when he grows up, he wants to be a cheese shredder. He shreds that one right to the first baseman, who steps on the bag for the final out. Or is it a foul ball? I guess they're calling that a foul ball. Looked fair from here, but that apparently is going to be ruled foul. So it's just a strike, and the count is 0-1. If you didn't catch what I said, he wants to be a cheese shredder when he grows up. It says his hobbies are bullfighting and knitting. I love this kid. And he lists, and I'm trying to read this, as his favorite food, the adzuki bean. I have no idea what that is. I have to look that up. I'm going to have to go shake Anderson White's hand, though, when this is all over. And those are some creative answers. Right now, the count's 1-1. The bases are loaded. There's a snap throw to third. It's fairly close, but the runner back. Jake Frick was scared to death down in third, but he beat the tag back. And so the runners will again get their leads off first, second, and third. And a 1-1 pitch will be on the way to Anderson White. Here it is, and he hits it out toward short. Shortstop can't find the ball. The flip to second's close and called out. Bang, bang play down at second, but the runner ruled out, and the force out will end the bottom of the second inning. So North Myrtle Beach can't cash in their second bases loaded situation, and that takes us to the top of the third. Good ball game. We'd expect nothing less from these young men. The score is 0-0 as we head to the top of the third in the 2019 Dixie Youth Boys Ozone State Championship, live right here on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. good ball game here between North Myrtle Beach and Union County. No score as Union comes to bat in the top of the third. Brown Reeves' first pitch misses for ball one. It'll be Ryland Lancaster, Landon Sumner, and Jamison Parks as the first three batters for Union County in the top of the third. Here's a big swing and a miss, and the count's even now 1-1. We're still laughing about some of the answers Anderson White gave to the questionnaire about his favorites. I'm going to tell him I want him to knit me a scarf, and I want him to make me a reservation when he fights his next bull. The count goes to 1-2 on Ryland Lancaster. Pitch on the way, popped up back toward us. And on top of the roof here at the press box. If I had my glove, I'd have made the play. And the count stays 1-2. Hit off the end of the bat, foul up past first. Count stays 1-2. As for Ryland, his favorite food is tacos. His favorite movie, The Avengers. He likes God's country. He also plays football. And he wants to either be a pro football player or a pro baseball player when he grows up. And the count is even 2-2 on Mr. Lancaster, with Landon Sumner and Jamison Parks also waiting to hit. That's fouled off the screen, and the count stays 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. Fouled back off the screen again. Pretty good battle going on here between Brown Reeves and Ryland Lancaster. Lancaster digs back in. Brown Reeves gets the sign he wants, nods his head, and he's into the wind, and the pitch on the way is hit foul, just foul, past third. We've had base runners everywhere for both teams, but neither team has scored a run as of yet. And here comes Coach Reeves out for North Myrtle Beach. A little chat with his players on the mound. And there's a shot from the Beaufort County drone, operated by Mr. Robert Dixie. We appreciate his talents with these beautiful aerial shots of Oscar Frazier Park. Two balls, two strikes. The count to Ryland Lancaster, leading off the top of the third. Reeves rocks and fires, and it's swung on and missed. They'll have to throw him out. The ball got away. And they do that, and that's 1 up and 1 down. Ryland Lancaster strikes out and is thrown out at first for the first out. And that'll bring up Landon Sumner.
Now batting, number 8, Landon Sumner.
Landon Sumner likes lasagna. His favorite movie is The Field of Dreams. That's a great one. And I can identify with his hobby, eating. That's a good one. And And he fouls the first pitch off. No balls and 1 strike. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Off speed pitch is hit past the third baseman into left field, a base hit. I think Colin Jones was waiting for that ball to take a little bit higher of a hop, and it got underneath his glove. And so Union has a runner aboard. Single. So Sumner with a 1-out single. Jamison Parks will be the batter. And we have a new pitcher for North Myrtle Beach. Colin Jones is going to come in from third and take over in relief of Brown Reeves.
Number 6, Colin Jones.
And Colin Jones will
Final pitch count.
face Jamison Parks with 1 out and a runner on first in a scoreless game here in the top of the third. Maybe this will be one of those games where it's no score like like Monday night, top of the 15th, with a second game to go. Everybody's shaking their head in the booth like, "Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't jinx it. Don't say that." We also hope we don't encounter a weather delay like we did on Monday night with lightning. But I'll tell you something, if we do have a weather delay, we're all going to stand around and watch Anderson White knit. And now I've spooked the truck. They want shots of the clouds overhead. I didn't mean to spook you guys. Rain's staying away. We're in the clear. Colin Jones finishes his warm-up tosses. He might be finished with his warm-up tosses. Looks like he is. And up to the plate steps Jamison Parks. Runner at first, 1 out. And behind Jamison Parks all the way to the screen and down to second goes Landon Sumner. I'd be able to see the shot you just had, except my monitor went off again. Let's see, trying to fix it here. I think we got it here. Nope, went off again. Runner leads off second, 1-0 pitch, 1-1 pitch. Check that, misses inside, 2-1. There we go. Now I got my monitor back. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike on Jamison Parks. With Landon Sumner, the runner, down at second and 1 out in the top of the third, scoreless game. Colin Jones to the plate. And 3-1 pitch finds the strike zone to fill the count, 3-2. Three-two pitch on the way. Sweeps outside for ball 4. It's a walk to Jamison Parks. Runners now first and second for Union.
Now batting, number 7,
And Garrison Hooper, the batter. Pitch on the way, hit sharply out towards short. The flip to second for one, the relay to first in time, and a nice double play for North Myrtle Beach. Turns away Union County in the top of the third. So some more base runners, but still goose eggs on the scoreboard as we go to the bottom of the third. No score in this elimination game in the 2019 Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament. Live on the Beaufort County channel. We'll be right back for the bottom of the third. We go to the bottom of the third at Oscar Frazier Park in this elimination game. And we once again want to welcome everybody to the Beaufort County channel in this big game between Union County and North Myrtle Beach. We are scoreless as North Myrtle Beach bats in the home half of the third inning. Connor Helmecki leads off for North Myrtle Beach, with Garrison Hooper still on the mound for Union County. 1-0 pitch on the way is way outside, ball 2, 2-0. Whether you're tuning in on the Beaufort County channel itself or at BeaufortCountySC.gov, we thank you. It's our pleasure to be able to bring you this Dixie Youth Ozone Tournament. And what a tournament it's been, and another classic game shaping up here, scoreless in the bottom of the third. 3 balls and no strikes to Connor Helmecki. Hooper into the wind. 3-0 pitch is on the outside corner, and the count's now 3-1. Three-one pitch on the way is high for ball 4. Leadoff walk for Connor Helmecki. He trots down to first, and that'll bring up Colin Jones. This is a double elimination tournament, and so far the only team that has yet to lose a game is Edgefield, and they play game 2 this evening against the host team, Bluffton American. That will be here live on the Beaufort County channel at the conclusion of this game versus Union and Myrtle Beach. Runner goes from first. Throw down to second. Good throw, but escapes the second baseman. It's going to be a stolen base for Connor Helmecki and a runner in scoring position for North Myrtle Beach here in the bottom of the third. So another runner in scoring position for North Myrtle Beach. And pitch on the way is tapped out toward short, and the shortstop can't glove it. Trying to throw it before he had the ball in his glove. That'll be an E6, and that puts runners on first and third for North Myrtle Beach. Tanner Harden, who started the game pitching for Union, is now the shortstop, and he tried to make the play. He was going to try to get the force at third, but he tried to throw the ball before he had it in the webbing of his glove. And so now runners first and third, nobody out for North Myrtle Beach, and Luke Roop, the batter. So Garrison Hooper will try to pitch out of this jam. Runner goes from first, the ball gets away, and it's going to be an easy stolen base. For Colin Jones. So 2 runners in scoring position for North Myrtle Beach, and it's a 1-ball and no strike count to Luke Roop. And they might have decided to intentionally walk Luke Roop, which will load the bases with nobody out. And that'll bring up Brown Reeves. So, tough spot here for Union County. Bases loaded, nobody out, and a scoreless game. And Garrison Hooper with a long look in gets his sign from Joe Knox. Runners get their leads off first, second, and third, and there's a big swing and a miss by Brown Reeves. No balls and 1 strike. North Myrtle Beach has had the bases loaded every inning, and they have yet to score. Trying to change that here as that gets all the way to the screen, and that will plate the first run of the game for North Myrtle Beach. It's a wild pitch from Garrison Hooper, and North Myrtle Beach takes a 1-0 lead. The runners advance to second and third, so it's a run in. 2 more runners in scoring position and a 2-ball and 1 strike count to Brown Reeves. Hooper into the wind, pitch on the way to Reeves. Hit foul toward third. What's the count there?
2-1. Now I have 2-2.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners get their leads off second and third. Pitch on the way is taken down low for a ball. And the count now 2-2 on Brown Reeves. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Hit high and deep to left field. Back toward the wall. That ball is out of here. It's a 3-run home run for Brown Reeves. And North Myrtle Beach takes a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That was a long home run from Brown Reeves. And North Myrtle Beach cashes in the scoring opportunity. They make the most of it, and they lead 4-0. So that clears the bases. 4 runs in for North Myrtle Beach, and Sawyer Smith will be the batter. There's still nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd. So Union County will have to play catch-up. 3-run home run to left field by Brown Reeves. And that's hit high and deep into left center field. That's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. And it's going to be a long single, and I mean a long single, for Sawyer Smith. So North Myrtle Beach's bats have come alive here in the bottom of the third. Still nobody out. Mason Cox will now be the batter, and a new pitcher will take over for Union County. And Christian Giles is going to take over on the mound for Union County.
Your attention, please. Now pitcher for Union County, number 4, Christian Giles.
4-0 North Myrtle Beach out in front.
27 pitches.
The big blow, the long 3-run home run by Brown Reeves. Giles will toss a couple of warm-up pitches. And we're about ready to go. Runner at first, nobody out, 4 runs in here in the bottom of the third. Now we're ready to go. Mason Cox digs in the right-handed batter's box. Christian Giles gets ready to throw his first pitch of the evening. Instead, he goes to first. Sawyer Smith, the runner at first. The pitch to Cox gets in the dirt, and now Sawyer Smith is hung out between first and second. Throw down to second is safe. The ball might have been dropped. I couldn't tell. So Sawyer Smith was in no man's land between first and second. Somehow he gets out of it, and he stands down at second. It's a 1-ball, no-strike count to Mason Cox. Pitch on the way, misses outside for ball 2, 2-0. There's a great shot of Oscar Frazier Park from center field. Beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina. Pickoff play on at second. But Sawyer Smith gets back. He's going to be tired when he gets back to the dugout. Two-0 pitch on the way, inside corner. Cox can't believe it, but called a strike, and the count's now 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. Tapped, foul, up past third. And that evens it, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The second game of the evening features the undefeated Edgefield County All-Stars against the host team, Bluffton American. And we'll have that live for you right here, as we've had all the games on the Beaufort County channel and at BeaufortCountySC.gov. 2-2 remains the count to Mason Cox. Pickoff play on at second, but Sawyer Smith gets back safely. Pitch on the way, popped up first base side over toward the dugout, and I think caught by the first baseman. Good catch right against the dugout. And that is the first out in the bottom of the third inning. Sawyer Smith remains at second. And now Gabe Kuzwick.
Now batting number 11, Gabe Kuznick.
Four 0 North Myrtle Beach with the lead here in the bottom of the third. They've scored 4 times. Sawyer Smith, the runner at second. Pitch on the way to Kuzwick, a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. A 1 pitch is hit off the end of the bat. Foul territory, left side, out of play. And the count's now no balls and 2 strikes. Christian Giles looks in. He gets his sign from Joe Knox, looks the runner back to second, and now brings it to the plate. And it's swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. They'll have to throw him out at first. There was some hesitation there. But the out recorded at first, and that's 2 outs in the bottom of the third. And now Jake Frick.
Number 15, Jake Frick.
Frick awaits the first pitch from Christian Giles. Here it is, and he takes it on the outside corner for a called strike. A 1 pitch on the way. Off speed pitch is ripped into left field, a base hit. Smith is going to be held at third. And it's first and third for North Myrtle Beach with 2 outs.
Now batting
And
number
Connor
13,
Barnes, the
Connor
batter.
Barnes.
North Myrtle Beach has scored 4 times here in the bottom of the third, and they try to get some more. Their first run scored on a wild pitch. And then Brown Reeves hit a long 3-run home run to left field, and that's the scoring for North Myrtle Beach in the game. Pitch is on the outside corner for a strike to Connor Barnes. A 1 pitch on the way to Barnes. That's ripped out towards short. Shortstop takes it to the bag himself, and the force out retires the side in the bottom of the third. But a good inning for North Myrtle Beach. They hang a 4 spot on the board, and they send this game to the top of the 4th. North Myrtle Beach out in front 4-0. We'll be right back.
North Myrtle Beach 4.
And there is a shot of the May River as we head to the top of the 4th inning. The beautiful May River, beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday night of Dixie Youth Ozone Championship Baseball. You are watching the Beaufort County Channel. Cade Coker leads off for Union County in the top of the 4th inning. Union County trails North Myrtle Beach 4-0. Colin Jones still on the mound for North Myrtle Beach, and he tries to protect the 4-run lead. Foul ball past third, and the count's now 1-1. The wind starts to pick up here at Oscar Frazier Park, and there is some mean weather off to our west that we hope misses Oscar Frazier Park as that pitch is tapped toward third, fielded by the third baseman. He hesitates, but he throws on to first in time, and it's 1 down in the top of the 4th. Cade Coker retired on the ground ball to third. Now Mason Small. And it was Mason Small who was on the mound for Union on Monday night against Edgefield. And he performed the Houdini act for Union County. He came in to pitch with the bases loaded, nobody out, and he got out of that jam and kept that game tied up 1-1, a game that Edgefield would go on to win in the bottom of the 10th.
T-shirts to 10 and programs to 2.
No balls and 1 strike to Mason Small. Colin Jones ready with the 0-1 pitch. That's inside. Small dances out of the way, and the count's even now 1-1. Ripped foul, and that might have got a piece of Tanner Harden, who's waiting on deck for Union. That was a line drive, and that takes the count to 1-2. Ripped foul again, past third. For nothing, North Myrtle Beach has the lead in this elimination game. Counts even now, 2-2 on Mason Small. And there's a line drive into left field that's going to get down for a base hit. A solid 1-out single for Mason Small. And that brings up Tanner Harden.
Now batting number 10, Tanner Harden.
Good. There's a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to Tanner Harden. Harden digs back in. Colin Jones with his sign. Pitch on the way with the runner going. That's hit back up the middle. Knocked down by the second baseman, but he has no play. Back-to-back singles for Union County.
Now batting number 12.
And that'll bring up Josh Brandon. Union County trying to answer the 4th spot that North Myrtle Beach hung on the scoreboard in the bottom of the 3rd. Mason Small, your runner at second. Tanner Harden, your runner at first. And the pitch to Josh Brandon misses outside for ball 1. That's on the outside corner. The runners are on the move, and they're going to steal second and third. Some aggressive base running by Union County. And they now have 2 runners in scoring position. If Josh Brandon can get a base hit, Union could cut this 4-run lead in half. 1-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen. The count's now 1-2 on Josh Brandon. Runners lead off second and third. The pitch to the plate, hit out towards short, fielded by the shortstop. A run's going to score. And they're going to try to get 2 runs, and they get 2 runs, Union, on a ground out. Some aggressive base running by Union County, plates 2 on the ground out by Josh Brandon. Some more great instincts from these young men, and Union does cut North Myrtle Beach's lead in half. It's now 4-2. Bases are now empty. 2 runs are in. And Andrew Latham will be the batter for Union County. That was a hustle 2 runs for Union County. So 4-2 the score. North Myrtle Beach in the lead. And Latham takes ball 1 from Colin Jones. I think it would have to be, just about.
Yeah, I mean, there's no errors, man.
And there's a strike, and the count's even now 1-1. And I guess the way we're going to have to score that is a 2 RBI ground out for Josh Brandon. You don't see that every day in baseball. As Latham hits that toward third, third baseman waits for the big hop and fires across to first in time. And that will retire Union County in the top of the 4th. But Union County cuts into the lead of North Myrtle Beach. They score twice. They do it on a ground out. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. In this elimination game, the score, North Myrtle Beach 4, Union 2. Thank you for tuning in to the 2019 Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament live on the Beaufort County Channel. Well, another great game. North Myrtle Beach leads 4-2 in this elimination game. The winner goes on to play in the championship round tomorrow, and unfortunately, the team that comes up on the short end will go home. But as we've said many times, each of these 12 teams carried themselves with tremendous skill and class, and each of those 12 teams is to be congratulated in this tournament. What a great group of young men we've been able to witness play this wonderful game of baseball the last few days. Christian Giles still on the mound for Union. They plated 2 the last half inning on a ground out by Josh Brandon. Some hustle base running by Union County. For North Myrtle Beach, it's Helmecki, Jones, and Roop the first 3. And that is lined into center field. Good first step by the center fielder. And it's 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting number 6, Colin Jones.
Colin Jones now the batter. Another great aerial shot of Oscar Frazier Park in the heart of Bluffton, South Carolina. That is hit in the hole and into left field. A base hit, 1 out single for Colin Jones.
Now batting number 19, Luke Roop.
And now Luke Roop. One of the many great baseball names that we've seen over the last few days. The clouds gathering overhead. We hope the rain stays away. But some ominous clouds starting to gather overhead at Oscar Frazier Park. Pitch to the plate is tapped foul up close to third. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to Luke Roop. A 1 pitch on the way, misses outside. And that evens the count now, 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-2 game, North Myrtle Beach has the lead. Christian Giles looks in, gets his sign. Runner leads off first. 1-1 pitch to the plate. Misses outside. The count goes to 2-1. Runner going. The pitch is hit high and deep into right center field. Back toward the wall. It's out of here. It's a 2-run home run for Luke Roop. And it's now a 6-2 lead for North Myrtle Beach. Roop took that pitch the other way and hit it hard and hit it out to right center field. North Myrtle Beach gets the 2 runs they gave up in the top of the 4th back, and they now lead 6-2. So base is empty with 1 out. Brown Reeves, the batter. Last time Brown Reeves was up, he hit a 3-run home run to left field that at the time gave North Myrtle Beach a 4-0 lead. Giles delivers ball 1 to Brown Reeves. One 0 pitch on the way. Outside, 2-0. 2-0 pitch all the way to the screen, and the count's now 3-0 on Brown Reeves. It's popping up as it's going. So that cell right there may be a problem. Is that an intentional walk? So an intentional walk to Brown Reeves, and he'll trot down to first.
Now batting number 8, Sawyer Smith.
Still just the 1 out. 2 runs in. Sawyer Smith is now the batter. And looking at the radar, some of the typical low country summer pop-up thunderstorms are starting to fire up. We hope they dance around Oscar Frazier Park. Giles into the wind. Runner leads off first. Check swing by Smith. Did he go? Yes, he did. No balls, 1 strike. The count.
Wow,
6-2 is our score as North Myrtle Beach bats in the bottom of the 4th. North Myrtle Beach, a 3-run home run from Brown Reeves. Who hit the home run this inning? And a 2-run home run by Luke Roop. The 6th run for North Myrtle Beach, scoring on a wild pitch, and then on the Union side, they plated their 2 runs on a single ground out by Josh Brandon. Some hustle by Union County. And that's where we stand, 6-2 the score. Pitch to the plate is whacked into center field. A solid single and a good play by the center fielder who caught that on the short hop and almost had a force out at second base. That's Josh Brandon out in center field, and that young man has some good instincts out there in center field. He got to that ball quickly, and he darn near forced out Brown Reeves down at second. So North Myrtle Beach with runners at first and second, still just the 1 out. Mason Cox stands in. And Giles delivers, and Cox swings and misses for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch is hit back through the middle, fielded by the shortstop, and it gets under his glove and into center field. That will load the bases for North Myrtle Beach. That's got to be an E6. And that loads the bases with just the 1 out.
Now batting number 11, Gabe Kuznick.
And now Gabe Kuzwick, and for the 4th consecutive inning, North Myrtle Beach has loaded the bases. And that's hit high and deep into right field. Going to be caught out there by the right fielder. Runner at third tags. He's going to try to score, and now he thinks better of it, as that was a great throw by Cade Coker, who's over in right field. He fielded that ball and threw a rifle shot to home plate, and that keeps the runner at third. So bases remain loaded now with 2 outs. Jake Frick, the batter. So Kuznick flies to right. And Cade Coker with a strong throw toward home keeps the runners right where they are on first, second, and third, and it's strike 1 to Frick. That is smacked into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to score a run for North Myrtle Beach. A solid RBI single by Jake Frick, and it's now 7-2. The bases remain loaded with 2 outs.
Now batting, number 31.
And Connor Barnes stands in. Runners lead off first, second, and third. Pitch on the way is a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Connor Barnes, who I don't think liked that call particularly. He's shaking his head as he gets back in the batter's box. 0-1 pitch on the way, outside in the dirt. Good stop by Joe Knox. Runners stay put, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Giles into the wind, a pitch to the plate, hit on the right side, and under the second baseman's glove. He'll have no play, and a run's in for North Myrtle Beach. It's now 8-2. That will be an E4. The bases will remain loaded for North Myrtle Beach. And we go back to the top of the order, and Connor Helmecki will be the batter.
Number 1, Connor Helmecki.
Eight to 2 the score. North Myrtle Beach with the lead, and they still have the bases loaded and 2 outs. Helmecki digs in. Giles gets the sign he wants from Joe Knox. He's into the wide, and the pitch is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. And that's outside and in the dirt for ball 1. That evens the count now 1-1. Connor Helmecki is also very specific with what he wants to be when he grows up, and it just simply says a millionaire. Pretty basic. Runners get their leads off first, second, and third. The pitch to the plate misses outside. The count goes to 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. That is lined right to the shortstop, who gloves it for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 4th. But 2 more runs touch home plate for North Myrtle Beach. And we head to the top of the 5th. Union County comes to bat, down by 6. You are watching the 2019 Dixie Boys Ozone State Championship live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. Joe Knox is going to lead off for Union County as they come to bat in the top of the 5th inning, down by 6. North Myrtle Beach on top 8-2. Knox digs in. And he fouls it to the screen. No balls, 1 strike. Colin Jones still on the hill for North Myrtle Beach. And he's into the wind, and the 0-1 pitch on the way to Joe Knox, and that's tapped off the third baseman's glove, deflected over towards short, but they'll have no play, and Joe Knox is going to reach. That'll be an infield single for Joe Knox. Good start for Union in the top of the 5th inning. And now a courtesy runner trots over to first. And that's Jamison Parks. So Parks takes over to run at first base. Christian Giles stands in for Union. And he swings and hits it into the outfield. Going to get down for a base hit in left center, and Union has the first 2 men aboard here in the top of the 5th. The heart that these young men play with is pretty special to watch. These teams never give up. They play hard every pitch of every inning, and you see it again here from Union. Hunter Revis stands in. And Union trying to bring their team a little closer. The pitch on the way is inside for ball 1. Still a lot of time for Union, just in the top of the 5th. And they're off to a great start here with the first 2 men aboard, nobody out. That's fouled off the screen again. The count goes to 1-1 on Hunter Revis. Revis squares to bunt, takes it outside, and the count goes to 2-1. I think Hunter Revis got plunked with that pitch, and he's hurting at home plate. Looks like it got him on the left arm, maybe toward the left elbow. Let's make sure he's okay. And that young man's in some pain. That might have hit him near the funny bone, which sure isn't very funny when that happens. I've hit my own funny bone a few times, but he's going to shake it off and go down to first, and Union County's in business. They have the bases loaded with nobody out in the top of the 5th inning. And Ryland Lancaster's going to stand in. And now the coach for North Myrtle Beach pops out of the dugout. And he will have a little discussion with Colin Jones. It's 8-2 North Myrtle Beach, but Union County threatens in the top of the 5th. The bases are loaded with nobody out. And a new pitcher will take over for North Myrtle Beach. And it's going to be Jake Frick who will take over on the mound for North Myrtle Beach. We're looking at the radar and we're willing these storms to somehow curve around Bluffton, and so far they're doing that. So Frick inherits a little bit of a mess. The bases will be loaded for Union County, and there's nobody out. Stay tuned to the Beaufort County channel. We have a second game coming your way this evening. That's the undefeated Edgefield team versus the host team, Bluffton American. And that will come your way right after the game here between North Myrtle Beach and Union concludes. Here we go. Bases loaded for Union. And ball one to Ryland Lancaster with Jake Frick now on the mound for North Myrtle Beach. Runners get their leads off first, second, and third. Frick into the wine. That's hit right off the handle toward the first baseman who catches it. And that's the first out here in the top of the fifth. Big out for North Myrtle Beach.
Now batting number 3, Cade Coker.
So back to the top of the order we go, and Cade Coker will now stand in for Union. And that is hit hard and foul down the right field line. Coker down on the count, no balls and a strike. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Tap back to the pitcher. It gets under his glove. It's going to trickle away from him. A run's in for Union. The bases are going to stay loaded. It's 8-3. Might have been another situation where Frick tried to do too much before he actually had the baseball. But Union will take it. A run is in. They've narrowed the gap to 5 runs. The bases remain loaded. And Mason Small, the batter. And Small takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. One pitch is outside. The count 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. Big swing and a miss. And the count's even now 2-2. Two-two pitch just misses outside. 3-2, and North Myrtle Beach now in danger of walking in the 4th run of the evening for Union. Jake Frick will try to avoid that as he looks in, gets his sign, comes set and delivers the 3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4 and a run's in for Union. It's now 8-4. Give Mason Small an RBI on the bases loaded walk. And once again, Union cuts the lead in half. The bases remain loaded. There's still just 1 out, and Tanner Harden the batter. So another great game right here on the Beaufort County Channel. These are 11 and 12-year-olds that carry themselves a lot more like, well, they carry themselves better than a lot of major league players that I see these days, to be honest with you. So lots to be proud of on all teams on both sides. As the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes to Tanner Harden. This is a big moment in this ball game. North Myrtle had an 8-2 lead. It's now 8-4. Union keeps pecking away, and that's smacked to right field, over the right fielder's head, all the way to the wall. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. It's now 8-6 on a 2-run double. And this great baseball game gets a little bit closer. Now just a 2-run game. Tanner Harden with a booming 2-run double to right field. And the tying runs are now in scoring position for Union County with just 1 out in the top of the 5th. Josh Brandon stands in. And timeout called. North Myrtle Beach's coach pops out of the dugout. And that may be another pitching change that he's bringing with him. 8-6 is our score.
Is now pitching for North Myrtle Beach. Number 19, Luke Roop.
So Luke Roop, who has hit a 2-run homer this afternoon for North Myrtle Beach, takes over on the mound.
Start pitch count for Jake Frick. 15 pitches.
And Union County will have runners on second and third, a chance to tie the game in the top of the 5th. They came into the top of the 5th trailing 8-2. While we have a second, let's thank some of our sponsors that have made this tournament possible. Sponsors like Station 300, Jimmy John's Subs, the Sippin' Cow Cafe, Local Pie, the Mickelson Law Firm, Golis Family Jewelers, Toomer's Family Seafood House and Toomer's Family Oyster Company, Wendy's, and Loco Sports at locosports.com. We couldn't do this without all of your support, and we thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. And we have been treated to some tremendous baseball played by these Ozone players, these 11 and 12-year-olds that have just impressed time and time and time again. Well, here comes Josh Brandon, and he's got a chance to tie the game. Runners lead off second and third. 4 runs are in for Union County. They've narrowed the gap to just 2. It's 8-6. Luke Roop into the wind. The pitch on the way. Misses outside for ball 1. A 1-0 pitch on the way. Is a ball, and the count's now 2-0. Runners get their leads off second and third. The 2-0 pitch to Brandon finds the outside corner and brings the count to 2-1. Well, obviously the second game here this evening will not start at 7:30. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-2. We'll keep you updated. If we can figure out when it'll start before this game ends, we'll pass that along. But there is a second game, and it's a big game. It's undefeated Edgefield against the host team, Bluffton American. But lots of work to do here. It's 8-6 North Myrtle Beach, and Union with the tying runs in scoring position, and a 2-2 count to Josh Brandon. Two-two pitch on the way. Tap toward third. Fielded on a hop by the third baseman. He will tag the lead runner. That's Tanner Harden. And Harden becomes the second out. Second out in the top of the fifth inning. A run is in for Union. It's a one-run game, 8-7 on the RBI ground out by Josh Brandon. So Union's come all the way back to within one run. Tying run is at first place in the person of Josh Brandon. And it's Andrew Latham. So this game far from over. And we're just in the top of the fifth, so a lot of baseball left in this game. Jake Frick into the line. The runner goes. It's a hit and run executed perfectly into right field. The ball gets under the glove, and Union is going to tie this game. Racing around third and scoring is Josh Brandon, and Union has come all the way back to tie the game 8-8. An error by the right fielder allows the tying run to come in and score, and now Union has the go-ahead run in scoring position with two out. And Joe Knox, the batter. A sixth spot in the top of the fifth for Union, and the game is tied. And now a chance to take the lead. The pitch on the way, hit back up the middle, booted by the second baseman. He can't find the handle, and everybody's going to be safe. North Myrtle Beach's defense has let them down this half inning. And now Union with two runners on and two outs. Christian Giles stands in. A courtesy runner goes over to first. It's Jamison Parks. So Christian Giles a chance to give Union the first lead, their first lead of this game. Runner going from first, and they won't even throw. So now two runners in scoring position for Union. And a one-ball, no-strike count to Christian Giles. Luke Roop into the line, the pitch on the way. Chopped to second. Fielded by the second baseman, on to first in time, and North Myrtle Beach escapes. But not before Union County comes all the way back to tie the game. As we go to the bottom of the fifth, we are all knotted up. It's 8-8. You are watching some tremendous Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament baseball live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back for the bottom of the fifth. We have a new ball game here at Oscar Frazier Park. The score is tied at 8. Union County with a 6 spot in the top of the 5th inning. And now Mason Small, whom you might remember from the game Monday night if you were watching, he inherited the bases loaded no-out situation against Edgefield, and he got out of it without allowing a single run. He takes over on the mound for Union. And he will try to keep this game tied as Colin Jones takes ball 1. Eight, the score. 1-0 pitch on the way is fouled back to the screen, and that evens the count 1-1. Small into the wind, 1-1 pitch on the way, stays high, and the count's now 2-1. Two-one pitch is in there for a strike, 2-2 the count. And Union County, you can see even on the defensive side, they are revved up. And rightfully so, a 6 spot on the board in the top of the 5th to even the game. 2-2 pitch misses outside and runs the count full, 3-2 on Colin Jones. Three-two pitch on the way. Tap foul past third. And we'll do it again. Count stays 3-2. Small into the wind. The 3-2 pitch on the way is fisted toward first. And the first baseman steps on the bag for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 up, 1 down. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Luke Roop.
Now batting, number 19, Luke Roop.
Last time up, Luke Roop launched a long 2-run home run to right center field. At the time, that put Myrtle Beach up 8-2, and he smacks it again to center field, and Luke Roop, who just now begins his home run trot, gives the lead back to North Myrtle Beach. He enjoyed every second of that home run. And that's his second home run of the game, and North Myrtle Beach has regained the lead. It's 9-8. So a 2-home run game for now the pitcher for North Myrtle Beach, Luke Roop. Bases empty, 1 out, a run in. And Brown Reeves is the batter. Reeves himself with a 3-run home run this game. North Myrtle Beach has hit 3 of them. A 3-run home run to left by Reeves, 2 home runs by Luke Roop, 1 to right center, and that one to dead center field that might have gone over the big fence out there. I couldn't tell. Fouled back to the screen. The count's 1-1. The truck just said the Bash brothers. That's a good point, like Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco back in the Oakland days in the 80s. Of course, they had a reason they were the Bash brothers. Yeah, 100% raw talent, absolutely. As the count now 1-2 on Brown Reeves. So 9-8 Myrtle Beach, the 1-2 pitch from Small on the way, and that's hit out toward right. Everybody chasing it and going to fall in foul territory. So the count will stay 1 ball and 2 strikes. Small again ready. 1-2 pitch on the way. Is in there for strike 3. Brown Reeves goes down looking for the second out in the bottom of the 5th. So bases empty, 2 outs. And Sawyer Smith strides to the plate. And the situation's this: North Myrtle Beach has the lead 9-8. If they can retire Union in the top of the 6th without allowing a run, they will win the game and advance in the tournament. But as we just saw in the top of the 5th, Union is far from out of this ball game. It's a no ball and 1 strike count to Sawyer Smith. Mason Small delivers. Hit in the hole, knocked down by the shortstop. He throws on to first, but it's going to be late, and it's a 2-out single for Sawyer Smith.
Now batting number 3, Mason Cox.
And that'll bring up Mason Cox. A run in here in the bottom of the 5th for North Myrtle Beach on the long home run by pitcher Luke Roop.
Thank you.
You say 16 ready?
16 going.
Anderson White will run for Sawyer Smith. I wonder if Anderson White was knitting in the dugout in between pitches, or maybe he was bullfighting. So White runs at first. Mason Small gives him a look. Mason Cox stands in. The runner's going. The pitch is a strike. The throw down to second is on the shortstop side of second. And in there safely with a stolen base is Anderson White. So some more aggressive base running, this time by North Myrtle Beach. Puts a runner in scoring position with a no ball, 1 strike count to Mason Cox. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Off speed pitch stays high. And the count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit back to the screen, and the count's now 1-2 on Mason Cox. Edgefield County and Bluffton American waiting in the wings. They will play the second game this evening. Edgefield with the distinction of being the only undefeated team at this point in this tournament. One ball and 2 strikes, the count to Mason Cox. Anderson White leads off second. And the pitch to the plate is hit in the hole. Deflected by the third baseman, deflected by the shortstop into left field, and now misplayed by the left fielder. The throw home is going to be a close play, but in safely with the 10th run of the game is Anderson White, and it's an insurance run for North Myrtle Beach. They now lead 10-8. And all the way down to second goes Mason Cox. So North Myrtle Beach gets 2 of the runs back. And Gabe Kuznick now the batter. That was like a pinball. Was deflected off the shortstop, the second baseman, and the left fielder. And that gave Anderson White enough time to come around and score the 10th run for North Myrtle Beach. It's strike 1. Runner breaks for third. The ball gets away, and North Myrtle Beach is going to score another run. It's 11-8. So a miscue on the field by Union, and it's now a 3-run lead for North Myrtle Beach, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Kuznick. So aggressive base running leads to a couple of runs in this half inning for North Myrtle Beach. And Small delivers the pitch, and it's a big swing and a miss by Kuznick, and the count's now 1-2. So it's 11-8, North Myrtle Beach with the lead. And the count's now 2-2 on Gabe Kuznick. Hit out toward third. Good throw by the third baseman, but safe at first is Kuznick. It was a great throw. That was the shortstop, Tanner Harden, who fielded that ball in the hole and threw off balance and made a strong throw, a strike to first base, but just a little bit late. So it's an infield single for Kuznick. He becomes the runner at first, and now Jake Frick. And now North Myrtle Beach's coach pops out of the dugout again.
Gotcha, thank you. I don't really have to worry about that, man. Ball's coming in.
So Jake Frick digs in the right-handed batter's box. Gabe Kuznick, the runner at first. 3 big runs in for North Myrtle Beach, and they now lead 11-8.
12, Jack Watts.
Jack Watts, courtesy runner, will run at first base for Kuznick, so Watts takes over at first. And Jake Frick digs in. Small gives Watts a look over to first, and he brings it to the plate. Runner going again. The ball gets all the way to the screen. Watts thinks about going to third, but stops at second. And some more aggressive base running from North Myrtle Beach has another runner in scoring position. Sometimes when you press the defense to make plays, you can make things happen and score some runs, and that's what North Myrtle Beach has done here in the bottom of the 5th. Big swing and a miss by Frick, and the count's now 1-1. Big lead by Watts at second. Small to the plate, another big swing and a miss. And the count's now 1-2. Small again ready, 1-2 pitch on the way. Is hit out toward right field and caught out there by the right fielder, and that will end the bottom of the 5th. But North Myrtle Beach reclaims the lead. They do it on a long home run to straightaway center field by Luke Roop. And they add a couple of more runs with some good base running and heads-up play. And they go to the top of the 6th. They need 3 outs to move on in this championship. They lead Union County 11-8. We'll be right back for the top of the 6th right here on the Beaufort County Channel.
Sumner.
North Myrtle Beach 3 outs away from advancing in this tournament. Luke Roop, who has hit 2 home runs, still on the mound for North Myrtle Beach, and his first pitch hits. Landon Sumner is hit by the first pitch he sees, and he is down at first, and that's not the way Luke Roop wanted to start the top of the 6th.
Now batting number 5, Rylan Lancaster.
So Rylan Lancaster will now be the batter, leadoff man aboard for Union County, and they need runners. They are down by 3. The score is 11-8. But a great ball game from the very first pitch this afternoon, and a long way from being finished. Union was down in this game at one point 8-2. They came back with a 6 spot in the top of the 5th to tie the game at 8. North Myrtle Beach answered with 3 of their own in the bottom of the 5th, and they enjoy an 11-8 lead. We got a courtesy runner on at first as the pitch is popped foul out of play, and the count is no balls and 1 strike to Rylan Lancaster. Is that Hunter Revis over at first?
Yeah, Revis.
Hunter Revis, the courtesy runner at first. Big swing and a miss by Lancaster, and the count's now 0-2. So North Myrtle Beach on the verge of advancing in this tournament. And that is if Luke Roop can get 3 outs here in the top of the 6th. The pitch on the way is fouled at the plate. Lancaster stays alive, and the count stays 0-2. Revis leads off first, and Luke Roop with a toss over to first to keep him honest and close to the bag. Now Roop's ready, and the pitch to the plate is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that's 1 down here in the top of the 6th as Lancaster goes down swinging. Cade Coker will now be the batter for Union County. Runner goes from first. The pitch is a strike. The throw down to second is off target and in safely with a stolen base is Revis. And it's a no ball, 1 strike count to Cade Coker. Luke Roop looks Revis back to second and brings it to the plate. And it's popped up off the screen, and the count stays 0-2. Coker digs back in. Luke Roop looks the runner back to second and brings it to the plate. And there's a chopper toward third, fielded in fair territory across to first in time for the out. That's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. The North Myrtle Beach 1 out away from advancing. Revis stays at second, and now Mason Small, the batter. So North Myrtle Beach 1 out away from moving on to Championship Thursday. Luke Roop looks Revis back to second. Pitch on the way to Mason Small, hits him right on the pocket. And he will trot down to first, hit by pitch. That's the second hit batsman for Luke Roop here in the top of the 6th, and that brings the tying run to the plate.
Now batting number 10, Tanner.
And the person of Tanner Harden, who's hit a couple of balls hard this game and certainly has the potential to tie this game. And because of that, they're going to walk Tanner Harden intentionally, and that will load the bases. So the man of the hour for Union is Josh Brandon. Union is down by 3. They have the bases loaded, a couple of hit batsmen, and an intentional walk. There's 2 outs. Union will try to keep the game going, and Luke Roop trying to end it for Myrtle Beach and send them into championship Thursday, which, of course, we'll have live right here on the Beaufort County Channel, starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure you note that time. It's a 10 a.m. start tomorrow. Early game, which means I got to get out of bed earlier than usual with 3 kids, ha. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Josh Brandon stands in. The pitch on the way, big swing. He tried to put Union ahead with 1 swing, and he came up empty, and he is down a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Josh Brandon. Runners lead off first, second, and third. There are 2 outs in the top of the 6th. North Myrtle Beach up by 3. Luke Roop into the wind. Pitch on the way is popped up. It's going to fall in. Everybody's going to be safe. A run's in for Union. Another run's going to score, and they may tie the game. The throw to the plate. And now they got him in a rundown. The throw back toward third. And that is how the game ends. Union scores 2 runs or 1 run? They score 2 runs, but they come up a run short as Tanner Harden is picked off or cut down in the rundown between third and home, and the final score, North Myrtle Beach 11 and Union County 10. North Myrtle Beach made it interesting there toward the end, but they escape with a 1-run victory, and they will advance in this tournament. Union County, who played with a tremendous amount of heart all tournament long, they never gave up. They will head home, but they'll do so with their heads held high. Those young men have a lot of heart, and they played some great baseball in this tournament. So the final score of this first game on the Beaufort County Channel, North Myrtle Beach 11, Union 10. We'll be back for the second game this evening between the undefeated Edgefield County team and the host team, Bluffton American. That will come your way in about 20 or 25 minutes. Until then, I'm Jody Vermilia. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 2019 Dixie Youth Ozone State Tournament. North Myrtle Beach wins 11-10. They will advance to championship Thursday, and we'll see you in about 25 minutes for Edgefield versus Bluffton American.